Your soulmate is on their way to see you right now. But it's a big secret. My beloved child, remain exactly where you are for a moment, because there are certain journeys that begin in silence, and if you rush ahead, you may never recognize the moment that was always meant to find you. Something unusual is already unfolding beyond what your eyes can measure. There is a path being crossed. A decision being made. A distance becoming shorter. You may believe today is ordinary, yet somewhere, someone is moving with a heart that refuses to stay where it once was. Before this message reaches its final line, ask yourself one question. What if the person you've been waiting to understand is already closer than you think? Stay with this story, because every sentence is another step toward a secret that refuses to stay hidden forever. There is something fascinating about destiny. It rarely announces itself with loud celebrations. Instead, it whispers through unexpected moments. A strange feeling. An unexplained smile. A sudden memory that appears without invitation. These are the quiet signals that something is shifting beneath the surface. Right now, while you are listening, your soulmate is carrying thoughts they have not shared with anyone. They have chosen silence, not because they wish to hide forever, but because some journeys lose their magic when spoken too soon. Imagine preparing the greatest surprise of your life. Would you reveal every detail before it happened? Or would you protect it until the perfect moment? That is exactly why this feels like such a carefully guarded secret. Pause for a second and picture a long road stretching into the distance. Every step along that road represents a choice. A moment of courage. A moment of doubt. A moment of hope. For a long time, those choices seemed to pull two stories in different directions. Yet something remarkable has begun to happen. The distance no longer feels impossible. The road itself seems to be changing. Every small decision is quietly pointing toward one destination. Toward one meeting. Toward one conversation that has the potential to change everything that follows. But here's the mystery no one expects. The greatest movement is often invisible. While everyone around them continues with ordinary routines, your soulmate is experiencing something entirely different inside. Questions that once kept them frozen are slowly being replaced with certainty. Memories they tried to ignore keep returning. The future they once imagined without you suddenly feels incomplete. Isn't it strange how clarity sometimes arrives all at once, after months of confusion? Perhaps that's because some truths cannot be forced. They arrive only when the heart is finally ready to receive them. Now listen closely, because this is where the story becomes even more unexpected. The secret isn't only that they're coming. The real secret is why they chose this exact moment. Timing changes everything. There were opportunities before, yet something always seemed unfinished. One detail missing. One lesson incomplete. One realization still waiting to be discovered. But now, the pieces have begun fitting together in ways neither of you could have predicted. What once looked like coincidence now feels like preparation. And preparation always comes before something meaningful. Have you noticed how certain days feel different without any obvious reason? The air seems lighter. Time moves strangely. Familiar places suddenly carry new meaning. These moments are easy to dismiss, but sometimes they are invitations to pay attention. Not because the world has changed overnight, but because your awareness has. When awareness expands, ordinary moments begin revealing extraordinary possibilities. That's why this message found you today instead of yesterday. That's why these words feel connected to something deeper than simple chance. Your soulmate hasn't shared this journey with many people. In fact, part of them worries that explaining it too soon would cause others to misunderstand. Some dreams grow stronger in quiet places. Some decisions become more powerful when protected from outside opinions. So instead of making announcements, they've chosen action. Quiet action. Steady action. Every passing hour carries them closer to a future they no longer wish to postpone. They may not realize it completely yet, but every choice is leading them toward an encounter that has already begun taking shape in unseen ways. Here's another thought worth holding on to. What if the real surprise isn't the meeting itself? What if the surprise is discovering how much both of you have changed before that meeting ever happens? Imagine two travelers leaving the same city years apart. Each experiences different storms, different victories, different lessons. When they finally meet again, they are no longer the people who first began the journey. That transformation is what gives the reunion its true meaning. Growth creates recognition. And recognition creates connection unlike anything forced by timing alone. So don't rush ahead looking for signs in every corner. Instead, remain present. The strongest moments rarely arrive because someone chased them. They arrive because someone stayed ready enough to recognize them. The secret path is still unfolding. The footsteps are becoming clearer. The distance continues shrinking. And with every passing moment, another unseen chapter quietly writes itself. Stay a little longer, because what seems hidden today is preparing to reveal itself in a way no one expects. The next part uncovers the silent promise your soulmate made before beginning this mysterious journey, a promise that explains why turning back is no longer an option. A quiet truth is about to surface, not through a dramatic announcement, but through a single decision that has been growing stronger with every passing day. Keep listening, because the next few moments may completely change the way you see this journey. Sometimes the biggest turning points arrive so gently that only those who stay until the end recognize their importance. Your soulmate reached a moment where continuing life exactly as it was no longer felt right. Nothing dramatic happened overnight. There wasn't one magical event that changed everything. Instead, countless small realizations slowly came together, like stars appearing one by one until the entire sky was filled with light. They began noticing how certain memories refused to disappear. Familiar places reminded them of possibilities they once ignored. Even ordinary conversations seemed to lead their thoughts back to the same destination. At first, they questioned it. Then they accepted it. Finally, they embraced it. Here's what makes this journey different from every other path they have taken before. This time they are not moving because someone convinced them to. They are moving because their own heart has become impossible to silence. That quiet voice inside has grown stronger than every fear, every excuse, and every delay. Isn't it remarkable how the heart often knows the direction long before the mind understands the map? There is another secret hidden beneath the first one. Your soulmate isn't simply hoping for a meeting, they are preparing for it. They are imagining what the first conversation might feel like. They wonder whether the silence between words will speak louder than anything either of you could say. They think about whether a single smile might answer questions that have existed for far too long. Every possibility fills them with equal parts excitement and wonder. But destiny has its own rhythm. It never rushes the moments that matter most. Instead, it carefully arranges them until every lesson has found its place. That is why what once felt delayed may soon reveal itself as perfect timing. Every experience, every challenge, every unexpected turn has quietly shaped both of you into people capable of appreciating this encounter in ways that would have been impossible before. Now let me ask you something. What if this secret journey isn't only changing your soulmate? What if it has also been preparing you without you even realizing it? Perhaps the patience you've learned, the strength you've discovered, and the perspective you've gained are all pieces of the same larger story. Sometimes we believe we are simply waiting, when in reality we are becoming ready. And here's a gentle reminder before we continue. If this story has sparked hope or curiosity within you, consider sharing your thoughts in the comments. Someone else may find encouragement through your perspective. If you enjoy journeys that blend mystery, emotion, and meaningful reflection, subscribing simply ensures you won't miss the next chapter when it arrives. The road ahead is becoming clearer with every passing moment. Yet one final mystery remains unsolved. Your soulmate is carrying something with them that they have never revealed to anyone before, a message they have protected until now. In the next part, you'll discover why that hidden message could become the most unforgettable moment of this entire journey. Stay with the story, because the greatest revelation is still waiting just ahead. Before the next chapter begins, hold on to this thought. Sometimes the greatest secret isn't hidden inside a destination, it is hidden inside the words someone has been waiting a lifetime to say. Don't move past this moment too quickly. Every sentence from here is another piece of a story that has been quietly unfolding long before either of you realized it. As your soulmate continues this unseen journey, something unexpected begins happening inside them. The closer they feel to this meeting, the quieter the outside world becomes. The opinions that once seemed so important slowly fade into the background. The distractions that once filled every day no longer carry the same weight. When the heart becomes certain, unnecessary noise loses its power. That is exactly where they are now, standing between the life they have known and the future they are finally willing to embrace. Yet there is one thing they continue carrying with them. It isn't a gift wrapped in beautiful paper. It isn't an object anyone else could recognize. It is something far more valuable. A message that has never been spoken aloud. A message rewritten countless times inside their thoughts. Every version sounded incomplete. Every imagined conversation ended with one more sentence left unsaid. They realized that some truths cannot be rehearsed. They must be spoken honestly in the exact moment they are meant to be heard. Can you imagine carrying words so meaningful that you refuse to say them until the timing feels perfect? That is the quiet burden your soulmate has been living with. They have discovered that sincerity is worth waiting for. They no longer want hurried conversations or uncertain explanations. They want a moment where every word reflects exactly what they have come to understand through this entire journey. What makes this even more remarkable is that the message isn't only about the past. Yes, it carries memories. Yes, it holds moments they wish they had understood sooner. But its true purpose points forward. It speaks about possibility. About new beginnings. About creating a chapter that is no longer shaped by hesitation but by clarity. The past taught the lesson, but the future is where they hope that lesson will finally matter. There is another layer to this mystery that very few people notice. While your soulmate has been preparing what they want to say, life has quietly been preparing how those words will be received. Growth doesn't happen on one side alone. Every experience you've had has added wisdom, patience, and understanding that may become just as important as anything they choose to share. Sometimes the most powerful conversations happen because both people arrive transformed, not because either one had perfect words. So if you've ever wondered whether unseen progress could exist even when nothing appears to be happening, remember this moment. Rivers shape mountains without making a sound. Dawn arrives while most of the world is still asleep. The deepest changes often happen quietly before they become impossible to ignore. In the same way, this journey has been moving forward long before anyone could see evidence of it. Now the distance between intention and action grows smaller than ever before. Every passing hour feels more significant. Every quiet decision carries greater meaning. The secret can only remain hidden for so long before it naturally becomes part of the story everyone can finally see. But don't assume you've uncovered everything just yet. One final piece is still missing. There is a reason your soulmate chose this exact path, this exact timing, and this exact moment to move closer instead of waiting any longer. When that reason is revealed, everything you've heard so far will suddenly connect in a way that feels both surprising and completely natural. Stay with me until the next chapter, because the final revelation isn't about where your soulmate is going. It's about what happens in the very first moment your paths are finally ready to meet. Everything has been leading to this moment, not because fate rushed the story, but because every unanswered question needed time to become a meaningful answer. Stay with me for just a little longer, because the final piece of this mystery is unlike anything you've imagined. Sometimes the destination isn't what changes your life, the courage to take the final step does. Your soulmate has reached a point where turning back no longer feels possible. Not because someone is pushing them forward, but because something inside them has become stronger than uncertainty. They've realized that some opportunities are too meaningful to leave hidden behind, maybe someday. Every sunrise reminded them that another day had passed. Every quiet evening whispered the same thought. What if the moment is closer than I think? Eventually, that question transformed into a decision. Imagine standing at the edge of a bridge you've wanted to cross for a very long time. From a distance, it looked intimidating. Every excuse made staying where you were seem easier. But then one day, something changes. You stop staring at the bridge and simply begin walking. That's exactly what has happened within your soulmate. The first step wasn't dramatic. It was quiet, confident, certain. And once that first step was taken, every step afterward became easier. Now here's the secret that changes everything. The journey was never only about reaching you. It was also about becoming the kind of person who could truly appreciate the meeting. Growth has reshaped their perspective. They no longer seek perfection. They seek authenticity. They no longer chase impossible expectations. They value honesty, presence, and the simple beauty of being understood. Those lessons are far more valuable than anything they could have learned by arriving too early. Think about this for a moment. What if every delay you've questioned was actually protecting the story from happening before it was ready? What if every unexpected turn was quietly arranging a better beginning than either of you could have planned? Sometimes life's greatest gift isn't speed, it's perfect preparation. And preparation often looks like waiting until you can finally recognize what truly matters. As this chapter closes, there is one final image to carry with you. Picture two distant lights moving through the night. From far away, they seem completely separate. Yet with every passing moment, the distance between them grows smaller until they shine within the same horizon. Neither light lost its brightness during the journey. Instead, both became stronger because of it. That is the message at the heart of this entire story. Meaningful connections are strengthened by growth, patience, and the courage to keep moving forward. If this journey resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Your perspective may inspire someone else who needed this message today. And if you enjoy stories filled with mystery, hope, and meaningful reflection, subscribing is a simple way to join us for the next unforgettable chapter. As you leave this story, don't rush to search for signs everywhere around you. Instead, carry this feeling with quiet confidence. Keep growing. Keep moving forward. Stay open to meaningful moments when they naturally arrive. Because whether the next chapter unfolds tomorrow or sometime later, one truth remains unchanged: the most extraordinary journeys are not built on certainty, they are built on the courage to take one more step when your heart quietly tells you it's time. One final truth remains, and this is the part most people never expect. The journey you've been listening to was never meant to end with a single meeting. The meeting is only the beginning. So before you leave, hear these final words carefully, because they bring the hidden meaning of everything you've heard together. Your soulmate's secret wasn't simply that they were making their way toward you. The real secret was that they had finally become ready to stop letting fear decide the direction of their future. That quiet transformation is far more powerful than any dramatic moment. A person can travel thousands of miles, but the greatest distance anyone ever crosses is the one between doubt and confidence. That is the journey your soulmate has been completing all along. And perhaps, without even realizing it, you've been walking your own path as well. Every challenge strengthened your patience. Every unanswered question expanded your understanding. Every unexpected delay taught you something no shortcut ever could. Looking back one day, you may discover that nothing was wasted. Every chapter had a purpose. Every pause carried a lesson. Every ending quietly prepared a better beginning. Now imagine this final scene. The road is calm. The sky is changing. The distance between yesterday and tomorrow feels smaller than ever. Somewhere, someone smiles, not because every question has already been answered, but because they finally believe the future is worth walking toward. That quiet smile carries more hope than 1,000 promises. It says, "I'm ready for whatever comes next." That is the spirit of this story. Life rarely reveals every detail before the next chapter begins. Instead, it invites us to keep moving with faith in the journey itself. The greatest opportunities often appear after we've grown into the person capable of recognizing them. And sometimes the most meaningful encounters happen naturally, without forcing, without chasing, and without fear. So as this narration comes to a close, don't leave with curiosity alone. Leave with confidence. Continue building your own future. Continue becoming the best version of yourself. Welcome new possibilities with an open heart, and remember that every meaningful connection is strongest when both people have grown through their own unique experiences. If today's story stayed with you until this very moment, thank you for sharing this journey. Your presence made this chapter complete. Until we meet again, keep your vision clear, your heart steady, and your hope alive. Because the next page of your story has not been written yet, and it may hold possibilities far greater than anything you can imagine today. Until next time, keep looking forward. Sometimes the most beautiful surprises arrive quietly, exactly when